So, you've been taking a lot of travel photos. Now you're thinking about growing your audience and introducing a hybrid workflow. I'm here to meet travel content creator Harrison Brown, who's going to show us exactly how to do that.
My name is Harrison Brown and I'm a photographer and videographer located in Scotland.
And what kind of photography do you do?
I do mostly travel photography. So I travel around the world and try and capture a moment in time.
Amazing, beautiful backdrop here, and I'm looking forward to all the moments you're going to capture here. So what else are we doing here?
We're going to be talking about how we can grow an audience online so that you can start doing this as more of a job rather than just a hobby. And also, we are going to be introducing a hybrid workflow and talking a little bit about how you can use videography and photography to capture the whole of a setting, like this beautiful setting we have behind us.
And what kind of skills are we going to be covering?
Lots of different modes in the camera, lots of different techniques that you guys can use to capture and portray more of your environment.
Amazing. Well, guys, sit back and watch, and I hope you learned something today. Let's talk about growing and building your audience.
So I think it's extremely important, especially if you want to go down this route as a career or more of a job, or you want to start getting freelance gigs and jobs. It's important to put your work on social media. The result of that will be more connections with brands, more friends in the space, and also more people to travel with and shoot with. People make the mistake with social media that it's a one-way thing. It's a two-way thing, and you need to engage with your friends or people in the space in order for them to engage with you, and that will in turn grow your audience. So from being in the space for a while, you end up meeting people, and those people you can engage with, follow them on social media, they'll follow you back and they'll appreciate your work, and also they'll forward your work onto brands and suggest you for certain projects.
Is there anything that you have to keep doing to keep up with this forever changing landscape?
I think that you can't keep shooting the same locations, and if you do the same locations, you need to do them in a different way. Get them in unique light, try and use light to your advantage, or use props if you're getting a little bit more into it for product photography, for example.
As you're growing your audience and you're taking more and more travel photos, is it also important to level up your camera gear?
If you want your audience to grow with you and pursue your journey and see what you're doing, you need to grow as a photographer and videographer. And as a result of that, you need to level up your kit. So for example, I am using the R8 today, which is currently the entry-level camera into the full frame system from the R series.
How do you make your work stand out from the crowd?
One of the main ways is lighting, and getting the right lighting in the right setting. So we need it to highlight the hills, or we need it to highlight a certain spot, and that really adds character to your photos and a lot more depth to those photos.
I can't wait to see you at work and see how you get all this, bring it to life. So Harrison, let's talk about your shooting technique. What camera are you using?
At the moment, I've got the R8, and that offers great flexibility between photos and video.
Amazing. And what lenses are we going to be using?
On this one, I've got the 15-30 f4.5. That is my wide angle. I'll be shooting this waterfall behind us with this lens. And then to add a bit of compression and a bit more detail, I've also got the 70-200 f4. Now, if you're standing beside a mountain, we want you to look tiny in comparison to the mountain. That's what the 70-200 is great for.
And in terms of your shooting techniques, what techniques are we going to be using?
My personal favorite is long exposures. That is adding this really nice, milky, crispy, clear flow of the water, and you get this really nice movement through your image. Then you've also got panorama modes, which we'll touch on a bit later, and also just adding subjects to your photo. So you might be standing beside the waterfall showing how tiny you are in comparison to this gorgeous waterfall.
So you mentioned long exposure and waterfall behind us here. So what are we going to actually be doing?
So we're going to be setting up a long exposure, setting it to 0.5 to 1 second shutter over to the right hand side of the waterfall. And we want to get that beautiful texture of the waterfall coming down as a leading line up to the waterfall.
So the 70-200 and the 15-30, both RF lenses.
Yeah.
What's the benefit to you in terms of travel?
The benefit for RF lenses is they're quite lightweight and compact, so they can fit in a small rucksack or a bag, and they're pretty easy to travel around with, to be honest.
So you mentioned long exposure and panorama. Let's talk about long exposure first. What does that add to your creativity?
It adds this beautiful texture to your image. Now, if you want this beautiful texture, you can use that on, for example, the waterfalls, or in cities, it's brilliant because you can get the light trails of the cars.
Let's go up to panorama. So talk to me about that one. What's that one?
Now, Canon introduced a feature called panorama mode, and all you need to do is pan across whatever landscape you're doing, and automatically it will stitch it all together for you.
So even though you've got a 15-30, which can go really wide, it also means you can go even wider.
Oh, absolutely.
Shooting panorama.
Yeah, it's pretty genius.
If you have a situation where the light's constantly changing and stuff like that, or harsh lighting situation, is there anything we can do to compensate for that in the camera?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that I did in the Philippines and also Bali, because you've got that really harsh light, is HDR mode on the camera. And this is when it shoots one stop below and one stop above whatever the exposure you're set to, and it exposes it perfectly in that situation.
Nice.
And it all stitches together beautifully on the camera.
So you mentioned hybrid workflow. What actually is that?
Hybrid content is just combining videography and photography to form the full picture of where you are, tell the full story.
And what kind of variety of content do you capture?
So I would always prioritize one thing. For example, if you're going to catch a landscape photo, I would always prioritize that and then have the video come secondary to that.
So how does the R system allow you to facilitate shooting between photo and video?
Well, it's actually probably the most simple camera I've ever used for switching between video and photos. You literally flick
Oh wow.
a switch. That is literally it. It's quite amazing. And the thing about small moments, especially in video, you need to be ready in a flash. And this allows you to be ready in a flash.
So what kind of video content is good to begin with?
Think of the picture that you've gone out to capture and capture that as a video.
Thank you very much. Guys, I hope you found it very interesting like I have. Any last tips and tricks that you can give us?
I think when you're beginning your hybrid journey, you should envisage the photo that you want or the story that you want to tell, and then begin capturing that as a video. And then start getting creative with it. Spice it up, add some people in there or add some props and just get creative, have fun.
Amazing. Guys, you heard it first. Grab your camera, get creative and tag us as well. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the Canon Learning series.